The anti AI panic is aging really badly. So stop comparing AI to an imaginary zero cost world. Welcome to my voice essay. It's just a little bit of a rant that I see. There's a lot of people against AI lately, and I think it's a lot of ignorance and a lot of misinformation. And uh, the tools just haven't gotten to the same level for normal people, the same way they have gotten for us software developers. So we do see the utility. Perhaps if you don't do software development, you have yet not interacted with an agentic AI system, so you still don't get what the big fuzz is and why this is changing everything. On top of that, I think there's a lot of misinformation being shared in social media, especially TikTok, and this is no coincidence. This is straight out of China because this is the competition for who will rule the world the next 100 years. So reaching artificial intelligence supremacy is key for both America and China. And if our generation of young people is against AI, it doesn't matter if the United States gets to supremacy, we will just not have enough people with the creativity that the young have to drive the future forward. And we might as well lose. So here I go. The anti A crowd is not wrong to ask questions about water, electricity, jobs, copyright, concentration of power, and governance. Those are real issues. But what's embarrassing is how many people are building their entire anti AI identity on outdated claims, bad comparisons, and recycled moral panic. They don't compare AI to the real world. They compare AI to an imaginary zero cost universe where no other industry consumes water, electricity, land, minerals, labor, or attention. So take water. One of the laziest anti AI arguments is AI uses water, therefore AI is uniquely evil. Okay, compared to what? Agriculture uses water. Restaurants use water. Almonds use water. Beef uses water. Golf course use water. Lawns use water. Semiconductor fabs use water. Factories use water. Hotels use water. Coffee uses water. The entire physical economy uses water. So the serious question is not, does A consume resources? The serious question is, what's the value produced per unit of resource consumed, and how fast is the infrastructure improving? Because it's improving. That is where the anti-AI argument falls apart. Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, said recently that Microsoft's newer AI data centers cooling design can use annual water comparable to a single restaurant because the cooling loop is filled once and then it's recirculated. Does that mean that every data center is perfect? No. Does it mean that water concerns are fake? No. But it absolutely destroys the brain dead claim that AI is permanently destined to drink towns dry, as if cooling technology, sitting, recirculation, and infrastructure design are frozen in 2023 forever. More, more so, some data center installations have built water treatment plants that are actually cleaning the water from nearby towns, using it, and then recirculating the clean water. So there's a lot going on there that people are probably not aware of. Same with electricity. Yeah, AI data centers are using a lot of power. The demand curve is real. Yes, the grid needs upgrades, but this uses so much electricity. It's not our argument against a civilization level changing technology. It's an argument for building more generation, better transmission, more storage, better cooling, smarter workload scheduling, more nuclear energy, more geothermal, deep geothermal, closed loop energy, better demand response, and better grid planning. And the anti AI crowd keeps treating infrastructure constraints as moral proof that the technology should not exist. That is childish. Civilization is infrastructure. If a technology is useful enough, you don't ban it because the substations are hard. You build more substations. And then there's the heat argument. That's one of the stupidest ones I've heard. They started comparing data center heat to bombs, to nuclear bombs, weapons, and apocalyptic energy releases because it sounds scary. That's not physics, it's propaganda. A bomb releases energy almost instantly. I mean, that's the whole point of the bomb. A data center dissipates heat continuously throughout cooling systems, building, air, land, and grid infrastructure. That same big number, energy comparison, can sound terrifying when you strip away time, density, context and physical mechanisms. A 16 gigawatt load is a serious industrial planning problem, but it's not a thermonuclear event. And again, nobody applies the standard consistently. Nobody says, shut down the Texas because the grid dissipates a massive amount of heat every day. It actually does like 10 times more heat dissipation than all data centers combined. It's like a nuclear weapon if you would put it every day, just the Texas grid. Nobody says streaming video is immoral because server farms should exist. Nobody says ban luxury agriculture because premium crops use water, especially almond. But AI it gets judged against perfection because people have decided they hate the aesthetic, the companies, the founders, the investors, or the feeling that the ground is moving under their career. Which brings us to jobs. The dumb anti AI take is AI automates work. Therefore, everyone's about to be unemployed. The reality is a little more interesting. AI is not currently eliminating work as cleanly as people imagined. It's mutating work. It collapses the cost of generating outputs, but it does not automatically collapse the cost of trusting the output. So that's the key. An AI can generate 100 drafts. It can do 100 code changes, 100 images, hundreds of reports, legal arguments, hundreds of customer replies, hundreds of marketing concepts, and hundreds of research summaries. Great. But who verifies them? Who checks the facts? Who checks if it's hallucinating? Who makes sure the code doesn't break production? Who checks compliance? Who decides which output is actually useful? Who signs their name to it? That is why automation often has created a backlog of human judgment before it eliminates labor. The bottleneck used to be production. Now the bottleneck is verification. That is what the simplistic AI jobs crowd keeps missing. The AI takes jobs crowd keeps missing. In the near term, AI often increases the volume of work that organizations can generate faster than it can be absorbed, reviewed, routed, approved, integrated, or trusted. So instead, everyone saying that you're going to get replaced overnight. What's happening is you're actually getting a lot more work. If you've started working with agents doing coding, you realize now that you can barely sleep because now you want to do way more because you're taking on more ambitious goals. So uh, you will need new people in this new economy. You are going to need AI workflow designers. You're going to need reviewers, editors, model evaluators, compliance people, data curators, QA testers, domain experts, security auditors, knowledge base architects, escalation managers, people who can tell the difference between a good answer and a polished hallucination. And of course, it doesn't mean there's not a displacement. It just means that the displacement is not like an on and off switch. It is a phase transition. So the phase one is AI helps us produce more. Phase two, humans spend more time reviewing, supervising, and integrating AI generated work. Phase three, AI systems become reliable enough that humans review exceptions, audits, and edge cases. Then phase four, in some domains, whole layers of routine knowledge probably will disappear. Yeah, and that's the real debate. Yes, there's a group of people that will probably the things they do today will completely be done by AI, and yes, those will be replaced. But at the same time, there's so much work output that you're going to need a lot more people to verify that output, at least for now. So no, AI is not useless slop. Not everyone is unemployed tomorrow. The real debate is how quickly does verification itself get automated? Because as trust remains expensive, humans remain in the loop. Once AI becomes good enough, not only to generate work, but verify, audit, test, cite, simulate, compare, comply, and self correct at a high level, then yes, the labor market changes much more violently. But we are not there across the economy yet. The latest US jobs data this June of 2026 made this obvious. Employers added far more jobs than expected in May, and unemployment stayed basically steady. Narrative violation. That does not prove AI creates jobs forever, but it does make the cartoon apocalypse look stupid. If AI were already causing immediate broad labor collapse, the labor data would look very differently. What we're seeing here instead is it's a little bit messier. Companies are adopting AI, output is rising, workflows are changing, some tasks are being automated, some roles are being compressed, and new bottlenecks are appearing around review, coordination, quality control, and accountability. AI does not eliminate work first, it eliminates excuses first. AI exposes real bottlenecks. That's what's happening. All the actual bottlenecks of your organizations are now being exposed. So, unclear goals, bad specs, weak managers, broken data, compliance drag, bloated processes, and humans who cannot tell a correct answer from a confident one. That's why the people screaming the loudest about AI often sound so unserious. They're not arguing against the frontier, they're arguing against a caricature. They talk like AI is just students cheating, fake art, but bad linked posts and slop. And this is like judging the internet by spam email. AI is not just image generators and homework shortcuts. It's coding, it's robotics, it's drug discovery, it's material science, it's translations, it's education, logistics, medical imaging, accessibility, cybersecurity, legal research, chip design, scientific modeling, and energy forecasting. If your entire critique is AI is I saw an ugly generated image, you're not making an argument. You're just announcing that you stop thinking at the consumer app layer. And there's many layers below and above. And the hardware curve is just getting started. Today's AI infrastructure is still mostly heat limited warehouses full of GPUs. And that's not the end state. We're moving toward better accelerators, liquid cooling, workload optimization, denser compute, cryogenic cooling, and superconducting. Um, so superconductors are not magic, but because they still require cryogenic cooling, and that's what's coming. But if you can compute with near zero electrical resistance, the density and efficiency ceiling changes dramatically. The entire AI will boil the planet meme starts aging very badly if compute moves from giant heat emitting GPU farms to much denser, colder, and efficient systems. And they could be as big as the size of a fridge and compute the same as, I don't know, like buildings and buildings of GPUs. Again, the point is not that AI has no costs. The point is that the critics keep pretending today's worst infrastructure is a permanent form of the technology, and that is historically illiterate. Early cars were dirty, dangerous, unreliable. Early planes were terrifying. Early factories were brutal. Early computers filled entire buildings and rooms, and then just a desk, and now they fit in your pocket. And early internet, and even in in your wrist. Early internet was slow, ugly, and full of garbage. You used to call it the worldwide weight. The first version of a technology is rarely the clean version. The first version is the proof of demand. That's what we have now. The Then the world starts optimizing the hell out of it. So yeah, ask hard questions. Ask who owns the models. Ask how artists and writers should be compensated. Ask whether training data should be licensed. Ask how much power data centers use and how much less can we use if we become efficient. Ask where they are built. Ask who paid for the grid upgrades. Ask whether communities have a say. Ask how workers transitions. Ask how students learn in the AI world. I think students should be learning how to use AI to the best of their abilities. I think testing should be done so that it can only be done with the assistance of AI, and it should be hard as hell. Ask how we audit autonomous systems. Ask how we prevent a handful of companies from owning the cognitive infrastructure of the planet. Ask who is going to keep the memories of your agents, and that should be you. Those are serious questions, but stop pretending AI uses water as a mic drop argument where half of the economy is busy turning water into almonds, lawns, golf courses, beef, soda, hotels, and premium nonsense. Stop pretending AI uses electricity is a profound thing when the whole history of civilization is a story of turning more energy into more capability. Stop pretending heat is a bomb because you found a scary analogy on social media. Stop pretending every hallucination proves AI is useless, while human institutions provide confident nonsense at industrial scale every day. Stop pretending job displacement is simple when the immediate effect is many organizations. It's not less work, but more output, more review, more integration, and more demand for judgment. AI has costs, and so does everything real. The question is not whether AI consumes resources. The question is whether intelligence, productivity, automation, scientific acceleration, and economic leverage that we get back from it are worth the resources we are putting in. And if you're not willing to ask the questions honestly, you're not doing environmentalism, you're not doing labor analysis, you're not doing ethics, you're just doing nostalgia. AI is not perfect. AI companies deserve scrutiny. The infrastructure build out needs accountability. The labor transition will be painful. The copyright fights are real, and I say abolish all copyright, abolish all patents. They're nothing but manuals for others to copy your ideas, especially China. But the low IQ anti AI panic is already rotting. It's built on bad comparisons, outdated assumptions, and emotional cope from people who sense that the world changed before they were ready. So the future is not anti AI. The future is people who know how to use AI, how to govern AI, how to verify AI, how to build with it, and how to compete with it, absolutely running circles around the people whose whole strategy is complaining that the machines need electricity.